think Uncle is going to have for us today?
Well, like I said, I'm always a fan of early swords, so I'm going to go with Vanilla Uncle. We're going to get that fighter sword.
Yeah, easiest thing to see right away, because that's the one case where Uncle is actually holding the sword in his hands when you walk by him. But looks like we are off. Uncle needs to go pick up his Weetabix. I think he took a detour, though.
Ooh, early bottle. That's going to be good for. It's going to be good for them because they can just stop by Sick Kid in Kakariko. Won't have to make another trip there.
Yeah, an early map check looks like we had Crystal 4 on Hera, Crystal 7 on Desert, and Red Pendant, I believe I saw, on Eastern.
I do believe that's what that was.
Yeah, Miri with a very fast check there. Was able to confirm it, but that was an extremely quick check.
Bow from the Uncle.
Okay.
One thing we don't see enough of is bow strats and escape, so I like it.
I like it too, but the runners, since we've gotten a map check, I believe, from both of them already, they're probably not too happy about seeing the bow, because it's like, hey, I don't need to go into Eastern right away. It's not a crystal. It's like, oh, here's the bow anyways. Well, now they both know.
Yeah, it always seems to me, anytime I get early bow, I'm not going to be getting a crystal from Eastern Palace.
Yeah, the seed's not going to be that nice. It's like, we're going to give you the bow. It's like, yay! But Eastern isn't a crystal. Aww.
At least with with all these arrows, you don't have to worry about magic for Burnistrats, and you don't have to worry about bombs for that pesky rat down in the sewers. So it takes a lot of those worries away that you get with some starting weapons from the Uncle.
Yeah, I think the main ones being like Cane of Brian is kind of the big one. You have to be really sparing with your magic use. But they both get a bomb drop already, so we are good with the bombs for the back of escape.
Yeah, it's always reassuring to know you don't have to come back to that escape.
Yeah, especially if it holds a key item of progression, because then when you do finally make it back, you're going to be worried. It's like, did my opponent get a bomb? If they did, they're ahead of me at this point, so now I have to make some gambles to try to get ahead.
One good thing about arrows is it makes the ball and chain guard pretty easy and pretty quick to get out of the way.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's actually faster is Fire Rod than the bow and arrow. It might actually be pretty similar because it doesn't have to go through the burning phase.
And there's the cape.
I don't know if I want to see that this early.
No, absolutely not. Typically, I like to see the cape after I know Aghanim won't be required. So I know what's going on in these runners' heads right now.
Yeah, it looks like the seed's already kind of hinting at Aga, but we'll see. And we still got Lumberjack ledge to check as well. That might just hold a required item and it won't really matter.
Both of these runners having really similar escape segments right now, but and what's really funny, and this is the first time I've noticed this, is on Myriachan's side. You got Zelda following Zelda. As many of these as I've ever seen, I've never noticed that. So that's pretty entertaining to me.
Well, I mean, at some point Zelda's got to get sick of getting captured and decides to just go save herself. I know I use the Twilight Princess Zelda myself, so it's not the same Zelda sprite following Zelda, but different timeline decides to try to fix something else.
Do you imagine both of these runners are going to be heading over towards Lost Woods after this?
I would think so, but it would be interesting since you do have bow, even though Palace is a pendant and not a crystal. It would kind of be an interesting gamble to just go right there, but that might change their routing right there, finding flippers.
Yeah, that's a pretty good find this early on.
Yeah, because now you don't even have to worry about doing fake flipper glitch to check Hobo, Waterfall of Wishing, Zora, and all that. Still need plenty of money to be able to check Zora, but now all of that is within logic.
Both runners getting that key rat out of the way.
Yep, no problem with the bow. Use that one bomb to get to the back.
That's what I like to see. Those are boots.
Oh, you wanted the early boots, you got the early boots. So we're going to be going fast this whole seed.
Good thing about this is these runners can check bonk rocks immediately if as soon as they get out of escape. That's one of those items that a lot of people put off until later on. Typically, if they don't find boots early, but boots right here next to bonk rocks is going to make that a pretty convenient spot.
Yeah, and with the flippers, the Eastern Palace might have been like a gamble, but now that you have boots and everything, you might as well go this way because you got bonk rocks and you're going to go to Kakariko and you can at least check the library. If something important's there, you can just grab it right away now.
Just a heart piece and bonk rocks.
Still something the runners probably aren't too sad seeing because right now, it's still early in the seed, you got 4 hearts. Every little bit of chance of getting a max health upgrade is more than welcome.
Bombs from the triple. These runners should be happy to see those.
Yeah, I'm sure they're very happy. Myria kills the bush crab. I'm probably going for another pull. Yep, so tier 1 pull is fairies then. So did you see that?
I missed that check. Let's flute.
Toot toot, it's a flute.
Well, we know that Kate might be coming in handy.
Yeah, we'll see, because there's only one pendant in Light World, so we have a 2/7 chance that Myers is also the pendant. We might not need it, and uh-oh, there's a lamp.
This is a nice seed. At least these folks can see in the dark now, though.
Yeah, but now they just need a sword and egg is on the table at that point. But yeah, with the way the seed's looking with the items we have so far, even if Myers is a pendant, they might still have to clear Ega anyways.
Right now, these runners are probably just hoping for some Dark Road access so that they can see what that mire is, if it's going to be required.
Yeah, because then they'll know, and they might run it anyways just because of how much, it's about 5 to 6 minutes to run Ega, but the amount of save and quits you can avoid, everything like that, it might just even it out just getting that flute. It would be an interesting gamble as well.
I love to see Aga gambles, personally. I don't like to make Aga gambles, but I love to see Aga gambles.
Well, we've got gloves.
And there are those gloves.
So we can actually get a Dark World check now if they head up to Death Mountain.
I wonder if either of these runners will do that, or if they will just wait until they have more access, until they find the Moon Pearl.
I would at least see, Kakariko and then Lake Hylia checks, and then maybe one of them decides to go up there to save the old man. There's a Moon Pearl, though, so... I'll just be quiet.
Okay, well, at this point, aside from that flute being in the lumberjack cave, these runners can full clear Kakariko here. Apart from activating that flute and everything over in the eastern part of Kakariko. And there's our sword.
Well, egg is on the table. But we're only a hammer or another glove upgrade away from normal Dark World access, so I don't see them making an egg a play just yet. Too many places to check still.
Yeah, with Dark World access and with South Shore, that's a lot of item locations to check before making that gamble.
Yeah, and even Eastern Palace is fully accessible, so
yep.
There's 6 items there. So Ega 1 requires either Master Sword or Fighter Sword and Cape plus Lamp. $300 in the library. I do not blame that or Malle for picking that up.
No, you never know how generous these seats are going to be. Especially with these flippers, you can make an early trip up to Zora. So if you can grab that cash early, you don't have to worry about not having enough cash to make that trip up there.
Yep, and then Race Game's just got a big 20, so Malle's going to save and quit, and we'll see where he goes. He might just go right up to Death Mountain right now.
That's what it's looking like. Can't really say that I blame him. We are going to see a route divergence here. I imagine Myriachan's going to be heading down to the South Shore.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all. I think he's kind of thinking that whole thing, I'm going to go up here, save the old man, I'll get my save point to come back to. I can get 2 items up here, and I can do the most important thing right now, which is probably check the Dark World to where I know if I have to run Egg or not, regardless of if I get to the Dark World.
Finding a full heart container in the dam.
And we'll see what soggy item we have today.
The most crucial part of this trip up Death Mountain is always that mountain checkpoint. If you don't have the flute, it makes getting back up there later much easier.
Yeah, and we know at this point there's a potential we might not have the flute for a while. Alright, just a heart on Spectacle Rock. What's inside, though?
Blue rupee. $5.
Alright, so I'm sure we're going to get a map check immediately.
Number 6 crystal on Meyer. So, these runners are going to be hitting up Agate fairly quickly.
Got a 3rd bottle already.
At least we got a pretty generous look at the map there.
Yeah, we did. So I believe, if not mistaken, Skull Woods was our other 5/6 crystal, and then we had our pendants were, I believe it was Pod and Thieves Town?
Yes. And Malle is heading straight up to Aghanim's Tower. Can't say I blame him one bit.
No, I think that was the whole idea of the play he made there. Is I'm going to see if I need the flute. If I need the flute, I can already do Ega. I might as well run it. Only thing I don't like about it is with the amount of locations he still has to check at this point, you could do something like find the Master Sword, just better sword upgrades, something to make this trip quicker at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least we know he doesn't know, but we know that Myriachan wasn't able to find anything of much use on the southern shore, but they are going to head, looks like going to head straight up to the Zora area. I presume going to check Hobo and the island really quickly.
Yeah, and then since she's got the 600 rupees, I'm sure after that's going to head to Zora, pick up, you know...
Oh.
Well, we need a mirror.
Absolutely.
So, with that, we know that hammer is not our option in a dark world, so that makes it even more likely that you're going to have to go to Aga just for your dark world access at this point.
There's Ether. Myriachan grabbed Ether from the sleeping hobo. But yeah, it looks like with that hammer sitting there, we're going to be looking for Titansmiths to be our true dark world access here. Apart from Aga.
Yeah, I think if Myriachan finds the Titansmith, it's going to be really good for her because she'll have that access to Dark World, and you know, I'm sure she's going to find some kind of weapons that'll make this run a little bit easier, like fire rods, silver arrows, just anything to make this a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because while Aghanim is going to be required, it's not necessary to do right now unless that is the only. That's our only access to the Dark World.
All right, we have bombos too. Malle has to be a little careful with his health, down to 1.5 hearts.
So yeah, with 2 of the 3 medallions, we pretty good odds that we're gonna have. Oh, and those were silvers on Zora's Ledge.
So even if Myria has to go to Aga, she's got pretty much the best weapon that you can have for that at this point.
And yeah, that will significantly speed up Aghanim's tower. And just a bottle from Zora.
All right, so we have all 4 bottles at 17.5 minutes.
A lot of blue. A lot of bottles can hold a lot of blue potions. I personally am a huge fan of blue potions.
Yeah, I am too.
They often keep me from dying in my seats. So.
Yeah, and I see with Myriachan picking up silvers, she's got the option of going to Sahasrahla, Aghanis Cave. I think she's going to just go right to Aghanim, and with those silver arrows, just take care of that tower.
One thing worth noting is Malle has 1.5 hearts on this Aghanim fight here, so a couple of bad blue balls could prove pretty devastating. But
yeah, it looks like taking the safe route, because usually if you are to the left or to the right of Aghanim, it doesn't matter. With the blue balls, you'll always kind of be safe.
And situations like this is when experience really comes in handy.
Yeah, and right there, that's the first room you can see the difference of having silver arrows compared to fighter's sword.
And let's see what we have on the pyramid today. Just a blue rupee. So, what do you think? What do you think Malle's first play in Dark World's going to be?
Other than checking pyramid, checking catfish, and then really, with no hammer, we don't have hookshot. You really only have pot open right now.
Yeah, right. Because you can't get to Hype Cave, and you can't get to anywhere in Western Hyrule, so it's Yeah, just catfish and pod.
Yeah, and he's not aware of it, but the mirror, which we might find a mirror in pod,
Mm-hmm.
because we know we need that for the hammer, and once we find Titan's mitts, we're kind of, or a hook shot, we're gonna have to find something probably fairly major in pod.
So what does our catfish have today? A little bit of magic powder.
So they just want to give them all the safeties at the beginning of the seed.
I'm sure they don't mind.
Oh no, of course not.
But a save and quit out, so we're not going to have a pod dip just yet.
Yeah, Malle might be thinking about all the locations he's kind of left behind in the light world at this point, and that I need to check these before thinking about dipping pod. But with what we've had on Myria's side, we know that's more than likely what's going to need to happen, but he's going to get his flute at the very least first.
And I can't argue with this call because this is going to speed up travel around Hyrule much quicker. It's going to get him down to those South Shore spots and get him over closer to the Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, he'll go activate the flute and then probably make the Lake Hylia checks, and we'll see where he goes after that, because probably make Lake Hylia and Zora checks just like Myriachan has already done. And then it'll be interesting to see if he decides to go to pod or decides to go back into the Dark World, or not back into the Dark World, go to Eastern Palace.
I almost think the 3 chest in Sarashala's hut and Eastern Palace would probably be a pretty safe play right now.
Yeah, I think I would check that first, because if you find Mirror in there, then you can go to you can go get the hammer right away and do a full clear of pod if necessary.
And there's our swag duck, and let's see where Malle's going to take it first. Going for a ride today to Lake Hylia. Or to the dam, sorry. I imagine she's going to go over towards Lake Hylia as soon as she leaves from here, and then head over to Ice Rod Cave.
Up and down goes Ega on Myria's side. Now with Myria checking more locations Light World, she might dip pod right away.
Well, Myria knows where that hammer is.
Yep, and Myria getting the information that this was an Ega required seed, regardless of whether there was the mitts somewhere that was accessible in Light World right now.
And Myria looks to be heading straight over towards pod. And with the knowledge that with the knowledge that hammer is sitting atop that island, and no mirror to be found in the locations that were opened, I can't say this is a terrible play right now.
Yeah, because really she's got Agnes Cave and the eastern area pod, and she didn't check Death Mountain, but we know it's not there right now. Yes, Myria is the only one I believe right now that actually knows about Hammer. Malle does not know about Hammer just yet. Probably will learn right after doing Ice Rod Cave. So not that it mattered because we started with the bow, but pod would have been not been bow locked for us today.
So, I imagine Malle's gonna appears to be setting up the water walk here. But I imagine Malle's gonna be heading up towards Zora. And then going to contemplate the pod or eastern dilemma.
Yeah, because that's all he has access to once he does Zora.
And there's his hammer knowledge.
Hydropower 78, yes, this is a 1-0 race. More keys. And a compass. Malle gets ether.
Compass isn't a key, though, right?
Yeah, it's just that item that nobody really wants to see in standard, and it's not key sanity. I know where the boss is.
I like that death warp from Myriachan. Having a having a tough time hitting that portal just right. It can be tough. Swimming mechanics in this game are a little wild sometimes.
Yeah, they're not nice whatsoever.
Malle grabbing his bombos and the rest of his Zora money.
Yep, and then is about to head to Zora, pick up his 4th bottle, and see the silvers, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go and grab those.
Well, I mean, you have to think, even if you're confident in doing tempered Ganon, you can never be so sure that you even find the tempered sword, and those silvers just speed up that fight tremendously, and you almost have to expect your opponent to grab those silvers as well.
Yeah, I mean, typically, you know, I'm sure most runners, when they go into a seed, they're assuming it's going to be a Master Sword silverless Ganon until they either see a tempered sword or they see the silvers. And they're just kind of prepared for that to happen.
So far, not much doing in pod.
Nope, not yet, but we got plenty of chests still to check in the back.
Looks like we're going to get an Agina cave check here. Just a big 20 on the desert ledge.
So yeah, this will be our first check here.
Just a heart piece.
So I think unless we see something in this big chest, it's eastern, or the eastern area. Just bombs.
Just bombs. So I imagine both of these runners are going to be heading over towards eastern right now.
I believe Myriachan is going to first go get her flute, and then we'll probably flute over to eastern, just like Malle just did.
Right. I completely forgotten that she hadn't already gotten her flute, so...
Yeah, and Helma is going to have an item, but right now we can't make it to Helma Sor at the moment.
Until these runners can find a mirror, we're not going to be getting to Helmasaur. And there's our Titan's mids.
Alright, so logically you didn't need to clear Aga to get into the Dark World. But we need it for the flute.
And at least, even if our runners didn't have to do Aghanim as soon as they did, at least they have a little bit of a speedier way to get around Hyrule.
Yeah, and then they also have that extra Dark World portal too, and they both know that there was a play that had to be made at some point. They just made it early, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Miria ended up getting silvers, so her tower was quite a bit faster, but still, for the flute this early, it was a good play to make. Oh yeah, that's right. Miria has yet to do Death Mountain, so it's going to make this play, it looks like.
So are we going to find anything... well, never mind. There's at least a Master Sword, so we're 2/3 of the way to our Tempered Sword, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but is generally the preferred sword.
Yeah, at least Tempered Sword, because then you don't have to do spins for every phase in Ganon.
I was going to ask if we were going to find anything of value in what's formerly known as Value Woods from previous versions, but looks like the game answered that question for me.
Yeah, some of the value has been taken out of Skullwoods, but it's still a decent play to make, depending on what items you have. There's 2 items in here, and if they're early, especially if one's progression, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and even if you don't have Fire Rod and you can't get to the back to defeat Mothula, at least it doesn't take long to get back to Mothula when you come back.
Yeah, that's true. And we did find both items out of Skullwood, so Master Sword was the only big thing here. And Miri's going to go into Eastern before heading to Sahasrahla. Depending on what we find in Eastern, this might be a good thing, but it could be opposite as well. But the interesting thing to note right now, with what they have, we know where the hammer is. The mirror actually puts pedestal into logic at that point.
You're right, it does.
And pretty much every item other than the hammer, but we know that's there, so we know the mirror can't be there on the pedestal. Pretty much every item they need for Go mode can be on the pedestal right now.
Well, at least we know pedestal hype is still very much alive at this point. Unfortunately for these runners, that hammer opens up a lot of locations. And there's our Fire Rod.
Yep, there's Fire Rod. So I wonder if Malle is going to make the play to go back to Skull Woods.
I probably would personally. Even though it's really one of those things you can do at any point, it is a 5/6 crystal, and that's going to open up another location for you later on if need be.
Yeah, and it could be really kind of a troll, but we could see a vanilla or vanilla-ish Cane of Samaria, because they've got a 2/3 chance that they can actually get into Misery Mire right now.
Mm-hmm. Just some rupees from the digging game.
At least there was only 5 digs for that.
Not the usual 30 that I seem to get.
Yeah, that would be, it's like, here, dig 30 times, okay, you can have 1 rupee, have fun. Your reward was actually everything else you digged up while you were looking for that 1 rupee. I think Armos has an item.
Yeah. Hopefully, for Miria's sake, may have some sort of value. Because
It-
nothing else in Eastern.
Yeah, it would be pretty huge for her if there is something in here as well, because it might be a while for Malle to make the play to come back here now.
For a non-green pendant and having the knowledge of where the hammer is and having access to Thieves' Skullwoods, and there's an ice rod, so Hype Cave.
Okay. Yep.
Hype
So,
Cave.
yep, I'm gonna have to give that a 10 out of 10 on the hype scale right now.
So now we have desert access. So if Myria finds any value in Eastern, it might be even longer until Malle comes back this way.
Yeah, well, we'll see what Armus is gonna have, because this fight's, you blink, you're gonna miss it.
Just a piece of heart.
All right, so yeah, so nothing inside Eastern, so kind of a bust going in there. I'm sure it's gonna go check Sahasrahla and see the Titans mitts there.
Malle fighting off these ghouls here in the graveyard. So Myria's going to grab these mitts and probably be pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna be happy. Immediately make her way over to Thieves Town. Well, Malle turns the mushroom in.
And releases the bee. Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge for Malle.
Yeah, that hammer kind of just blows the seat open at this point.
So we're going to drop off this blacksmith here. See if he has anything for us, but I'm pretty sure Malle's excited about that mirror find.
Yeah, and probably after dropping the blacksmith off, checking what he has. He has powder. He can check the Batman with getting that hammer. Or he doesn't have a hammer yet. He'd have to come back for the mirror still.
I imagine Malle's going straight to a portal somewhere and grabbing that hammer.
Yeah, interesting that he's going to use the Village of Outcasts. He could use the Aga Tower portal that he has now.
I thought Malle was going to head back up to Skull Woods for a second.
Yeah, I guess that would have made sense since he started here. Granted, he's probably going right for the hammer, but since you're here, you need to clear Skull Woods anyways. I was going to grab the purple chest first.
Yeah, Malle came this way earlier, but hadn't turned into blacksmith yet, so couldn't grab the purple chest, which is a mistake I've made more than once.
Yeah, I mean, if you were thinking purple chest, so it kind of, I guess, a little strange that you wouldn't go get the hammer first, since you're right there by Peg Cave too. Because now you're going to have to route Peg Cave. It's at this point basically by itself, with the exception of Thieves Town.
So we're going to get all these mirror checks down here. Heart container. Malle's going to grab that.
Yeah, Malle is, I think, just filled up his first row of hearts, so might nope out of the rest of them now. But heart containers probably not, but pieces of heart at this point probably just going to skip if you see them.
Well, we've got a pretty healthy seed here, considering all of our safeties and all of these hearts. Starting on our second row here on Myria's side, it's a pretty healthy seed. So I imagine we're going to get a purple chest into a tablet check here.
Yep, Bombos is open for us.
And there's our least favorite boomerang. See, personally, I don't think the red boomerang gets as much love as it deserves, but that's just me. Just a blue rupee.
Yep, nothing important there.
So I imagine Malle is going to be heading straight to that hammer.
Yeah, at this point, I don't see any reason why you're not. And Myria is going to dive into Thieves Town.
If there is an item in the big chest that Myria has to come back for, it's going to be pretty huge because when Malle makes his stop in the Thieves Town, he's going to be able to get that while he's on his first trip there.
Yeah, but it potentially could be a while until Malle actually comes here with as many locations as he has to check now.
Well, considering that you'd like to go mode as many dungeons as possible, I imagine he's gonna get as many locations in as he can before he heads back over in that direction.
Well, he's gonna need to head back over in that direction because we got a hook shot in Thieves Town.
Wow.
And Myria might be making a good play because we don't know what's in the back, but she's only checking these first 4 chests.
It's a play that I often make, and I see a lot of other runners making the same play, 4 chests and out.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to check those 4 chests, and if it has something important, like the hook shot we just saw, she knows where the hammer is, and she's just probably trying to check locations off that it's like, okay, Mirror can't be here. But picks up her fire rod. Gonna get a check on Ether Tablet.
So is she gonna go north into Skull Woods, or is she? Where is she going now? She's
gonna check Graveyard Ledge. Oh no, Bumper Cave check first. Just piece of heart though.
Malle having a tough time with those dead rocks.
All right, and Myria is gonna make the play back into Skullwoods, it looks like, to take out Mothula. Now, something to note, because the checks that Malle has made, and we know we're on the hunt for Quake, because Turtle Rock was Quake. When Malle does come back to make the Skull Woods play, he could check Pedestal, because he does have Mirror, he does have the book.
That is correct. And if we don't find Samaria anytime soon, there's a good chance that it's sitting on that pedestal.
Yeah, that's, I would say with having that information, or the information he could gather, that making the play back towards the Skull Woods area probably would be in his best interest to find out if, you need the pedestal.
Not only that, but he's going to grab that hook shot out of Thieves Town also.
Yeah, if he decides to dive in there.
Myriachan taking a death warp in Skull Woods.
I think it was actually just a death on purpose to get some of her health back. She was down to 3 hearts already. I don't think, I think she still's got blue potions, but just wants to save them to be safe.
Those blue potions are going to come in handy for the Mothula fight too, because Master Sword Mothula is not fun.
Yeah, not at all.
And if you know that you don't have to be conservative with your magic, it makes it fight a lot more bearable.
She is going to have to take out the Gibdo to get the key. And we're getting a paradox shape check. Nothing in the lower part.
Good thing about sword beams is you can just zap that crystal. You don't have to worry about throwing bombs or anything else over. Nothing in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, nothing really important. Got a heart container, but that was about the only good item.
Well, everything was in Hype Cave this seed, so.
Yeah. Which I'm going to actually have to upgrade Hype Cave to 11 out of 10 because that mushroom led to the mirror. So you can put the mirror in Hype Cave technically.
Yep.
But Miri has a great Mothula fight. Doesn't even need to pull the fire rod out for that. And takes him down to get her first crystal. And our first crystal of the game so far.
So where is she going to be heading now?
King's Tomb, it looks like. Yep. And it looks like she's going to be prepared to flute, and we'll see where she flutes to. Hopefully it's going to be Link's house.
Malle heading into Tower of Hera. We're going to be seeing some Troll Dorm antics relatively soon.
And a very good chance we might need to go into the basement, because that's a map. So we see a small key, we're going to the basement. We see big key, we're going up top.
Going downstairs.
You got your coffee ready?
Oh, I've got my tea ready. But I definitely have something ready for this tile room.
Okay, you can have a tea break. I'll take a coffee break then.
Actually, we're going to see some cape strats. I like this.
Feral Sparrow. I won't take away the Hype Cave away from you because Myriachan's probably about to hit it in a little bit, and you can see how Hype Cave is going to be.
I'm just glad to commentate a seed with the hypest of Hype Caves.
Yeah, I would definitely put that up on the scale of the hypest of Hype Caves.
I honestly really love those mirror strats. When you grab a wall with the, or not mirror, excuse me, cape. When you grab a wall with the cape, it doesn't use any magic. It's one of those things that's so silly to me, but I love it. I love doing it.
Yeah. Oh, the big key is going to make his way up Tower of Hera. We've still got 2 items here we know of.
Now imagine we're going to see a bomb jump here from Malle.
We have
no.
a swag net.
We do have a swag net. Maybe we'll see some swag in M2 strats later on. I don't know.
Maybe. But if you've just tuned in, you're about to see a very hype cave.
Now, at first glance, that mushroom doesn't seem too hype, but when you see what it brings, oh boy.
Yeah, it's like, you see Ice Rod, you see a sword, you see book. It's like, okay, we've got a hype cave. You're like, mushroom, that's not hype. And then you turn the mushroom and you're like, oh, okay. Never mind. I apologize, mushroom.
And Miri is heading straight to turn in that mushroom. Quick Moldorm fight with Tempered Sword, just 1 slash and a spin.
Yep, nice quick kill, and he gets his first crystal of the match. Now we'll see where he decides to go now, because he's pretty much cleared out what he can.
I imagine with this hammer,
We're gonna
he
get Spike
might-
Cave.
Yeah, I forgot about Spike Cave. After Spike Cave, he might head over to Pod, or he might head back over to Village of Outcast and go to Thieves Town and finish up the Skullwoods.
Yeah, and Myria's actually gonna make the play in the desert. Wait,
Myria did grab her mirror, right?
I think she just turned the mushroom in and left. I need to see her item menu, but that might have been what she did, because that would be why she did this, because you've got access to Mire. You could have just fluted into the Mire area and then mirrored your way in here instead of doing the book.
Well, this is interesting. And there's Samaria.
So almost vanilla. So as far as that right now means we are Quake from Go mode.
Did you get a check on the Meyer, the Meyer medallion?
I did not get a check on the Mire medallion, but we know Turtle Rock's Quake, and oh, we got a shovel.
Yeah, that's her favorite shovel. That is everyone's favorite shovel.
Forever Psychotic, we would not be in Go mode just yet. We still need Quake to get into Turtle Rock.
So it looks like both of our runners are. I imagine both of our runners are going to be in desert here.
Yeah, Myriachan, well, she's here, is going to clear it out. I don't see any reason not to.
You gotta wonder why Myriachan didn't grab that mirror. Unless she's just just assumes that the mushroom was nothing and he's gonna head back to it later. I don't know, but at least she knows where the hammer is, so when she finds it, she can go straight there and grab that hammer.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I can think of is, she's like, I'll turn this in, I'll just flute to Desert Palace, I'm going to do Desert Palace, and I'm just going to come right back. Gonna kind of maybe feel a little bit foolish about it, because it's like, oh, I wish I would have had this, I could have just went right into the Mire area and then mirrored in here. As well as I can go get my hammer, and that pretty much opens everything up for me, except Turtle Rock. And potentially Mire.
And Malle's eventually going to be heading back over to Thieves Town because it is a crystal. So
yeah, it is. It's just, how many things does he check before going back there? Because Myria's a little behind, I would say, with not having the hammer right now, as far as we're concerned, skipping the mirror. But we'll see what happens.
Oh, right. I'm corrected. Thieves Town is a dungeon. It is a dungeon. Yeah, of course it's a dungeon. It is a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, so he'll go back for Skull Woods, but he might just ignore Thieves Town because it's the pendant. So it'll be interesting. And the main thing is, we know that Tower of Hera didn't have anything important. So if Myria decides to skip that, she can technically have like the ultimate god mode if she hits Turtle Rock in Go mode, clear Turtle Rock, go to Hera, leave Hera, and mirror right to Ganon's Tower.
Mal trying to find some magic for to light his torches, and getting a little bodied by the Igor there.
The thing with him checking the first 4 chests is he's already been to the Village of Outcasts, and he decided to just not go into Thieves Town. So it's not a matter of he hasn't been there. He's been there, he skipped the area. And Myria's not going back to the Witch's Hut just yet.
And unfortunately, she's not going to find much of anything here on Eastern Death Mountain. But she is going to get her knowledge of that Quake is required for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, she'll get her knowledge of that, as well as she can check the remainder of Hookshot Cave that Malle could not. Alright, and Meyer was Ether, so we're diving right in, because it's we've got a full clear on it.
So how many small keys are we going to find today before we find anything useful?
I'm going to go with 1.
Oh.
The seed's just been really nice so far.
It has, it's been a very generous seed. We got some frozen popos over here.
Yeah, because I mean, we are, 1 item away from, commentators go mode, basically. We just need to find out where Quake is, and we know where everything is, and we're not even an hour in yet.
Yeah, I guess really the only thing we don't know the location of is that Quake medallion.
Alright, there's the 1 key. Okay, so I was wrong then. We found 2 keys and no item yet.
If I didn't make a guess, does that mean I can't be wrong?
Depends what your guess is and if we're playing Price is Right rules.
I'm gonna guess 2. I'm gonna guess after, after you already lost and after we already found 2 keys.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, that's usually how I play these games, so. Just some bombs in the Misery Mire so far.
Actually, Pedestal, even though Myria has cleared Eastern, Pedestal might actually be bad for her right now, because if Malle makes a play to Skullwood soon, Malle's probably going to check the Pedestal while he's there. If he sees Pedestal, then he's immediately going to go into Thieves Town and clear it. We'll find his hook shot, and at that point we'll be in go mode.
Yeah, Myria's not going to be taking another trip up to that pedestal anytime soon. Fortunately for Myria, nothing in Hookshot Cave.
That's fortunate for Malle, because if Quake would have been there, that's, then he needs Hookshot. Who knows how long it'll take him to actually go back up there then.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they've both cleared desert. Okay, she didn't forget about the mushroom, so she picks up her mirror and is going to go get her hammer right away, I'm sure.
She just realized that she couldn't use the the portal. She's gonna head up towards to the Aghanim portal.
Yep, and then we'll see where she goes after picking her hammer up, because for her, with the exception of Turtle Rock, all the dungeons are open at that point completely. And Misery Mire, but she hasn't been there, and she'll pick up her Canis Samaria right away.
With that hook shot in her inventory, I believe she's got, unless Malle heads over to Thieves Town soon, she has a pretty good advantage right now with that hook shot in her inventory.
Yeah, definitely, because if she makes the Mire, goes and checks Mire, she gets that. She knows she only needs Quake at this point.
Do you remember how many items she picked up in Thieves Town before she left?
I want to say it was 2 or 3. I think 2, because I think they found map, or she found map and big key.
Now, I'm thinking, what if Quake is in not Turtle Rock, Thieves Town, in the back half of Thieves Town?
It could very well be, because, I mean, really, at this point, Quake can be anywhere except Turtle Rock. Malle wasn't able to check the bat when he was there the last time because he didn't have the hammer and he was there in Light World. He could have technically checked it when he went for Purple Chest, but then he would have had to save and quit.
I completely missed that first chest there in Ice, but I don't think it was anything significant.
No, it was not anything significant.
Malle had to head back into Misery Mire.
Yeah, he gambled. I think he found one of the items, gambled that Vitreous is going to have the other one, found out that he doesn't, so he's going to go back in here to find the last item.
Yeah, he found bombs. I guess he's going to have to sit through the torch cutscene and take another coffee break.
And Myria is going to attempt the Ice Palace bomb jump. Gets it right away. Nice setup and very quick.
I'd be lying if I said I could set up an Ice Palace bomb jump that quickly.
Yeah, so would I. Even on a good day.
There's our first shield and our last item in Misery Mire.
Alright, so Misery Mire, but... And this might lead Malle back to Skull Woods right now. That is one of the 5/6 crystals.
That appears to be the play. Now, while Malle is heading up into Skull Woods to knock out Mothula, and Myria's making her way through Ice Palace, I would like to take this time to remind everyone, if you like what you're seeing, please give the runners a follow, and follow Speed Gaming channels 1 through 6, and a link to the past Randomizer channels 1 through 4 for more Randomizer tournament content.
Yeah, definitely do that because we're only in week 2. Week 2 is going to be closing out at the end of the day. Our last race is at 11 p.m. I believe it is being restreamed, but I have to double check the schedule. But we still got 5 weeks of just Swiss, so that's 256 matches per week for another 5 weeks before we get to brackets. So right now the interesting thing is Malle's going to get his second 5/6 crystal. I'm guessing it's probably going to check the pedestal. But with having the Pyramid Fairy, you think he'll just skip Thieves Town again?
Unfortunately, that might be what he does. We know he needs to go into Thieves Town as soon as possible, but obviously he doesn't know that. And I love the mushroom bunny sprite.
Alright, so I think we just have this chest up here, and if it's not here, we got it on Cold Stare. Maybe Iced Tea Room, I don't know if she checked that or not.
Malle having a tough time navigating through those spikes.
Yeah, Mothula is not an easy fight. You know, more equipment makes it easier, but it can still be a very random fight, and those spikes control you very heavily, but still gets them down. We'll pick up his 4th crystal. Oh no, 3rd crystal. No, that is 4th, never mind.
And I imagine he's going to be checking that pedestal.
Yep, he's making his way. So chat, now is time to get your prayers in if you want a pedestal seed. We need Quake.
Do we have pedestal hype? Looks like just a sword upgrade. So
Right.
we know where Butter Sword is at least. But I don't think these runners will be heading back over there to pick up Butter Sword. So I'm sincerely sorry.
Yep, the pet is dead. You got your Agassi chat, so you can't be completely upset. Yeah, and that is going to cause him to skip Thieves Town again.
Now the real question is, where is that Quake medallion, and who's going to find it first?
So where do you think it is?
I'm gonna go with. I'm probably gonna go with the back half of Thieves Town. I wouldn't mind seeing it in the back half of Thieves, considering that both of our runners have now skipped either Thieves or the back half. I'm gonna assume it's there.
So I'm going to be a little bit mean to the runners at this point, because there's somebody in this game he just doesn't give enough love it. I think Sahasrara is holding the Quake.
Uh-huh.
But we're going to get our Fat Fairy check.
Two items in here. What does she have for us today? Red rupee and a fire shield. Neither of those are Quake medallions.
Nope. No, they did check Sick Kid, so we know it's not in Sick Kid. If it's in the Kakariko village area, it has to be on Batman at this point. Everything else has been checked. We know it's not in Hera, Ice Palace. Could be back half of Thieves Town. We know it's not Misery Mire. Could be in Swamp. We have all of Swamp still. And there are 6 items in there. Could have been the shovel spot, but we find the single arrow. Yeah, and hammer pegs. I don't believe we've got a hammer pegs check.
Right. Yeah. Neither runner had the hammer when we were in that area, and neither have been back since. Myria using bomb strats to get her coffee break, and Malle entering Ice Palace. Now, is Malle going to do the normal full clear route, or is he going to bomb jump as well?
I really think it depends on how comfortable you are with the bomb jump, but there's also the fact that Myria did not have Samaria, whereas Malle does, so it's not
Right.
as big of a deal for him to just skip the bomb jump compared to Myria having to do it, and then, you know, either rerouting the dungeon or just doing the bomb jump at that point anyways.
We got a laggy penguin room over here.
Yeah, and Liam Atlas, yes, the smith and the purple chest have been done. You can full clear without the hookshot. It does require a bomb jump in the hookshot room, and technically it's out of logic because of that, but you can do it.
Myria getting all stocked up for her swaggin' M2 strats.
Nope, remembers the big chest is going to hookshot, and then I'm guessing bonk across. Yep.
Malle deciding against the bomb jump.
Yeah, I think he remembers. It's like, I'm going to full clear it. I technically don't need to do this, especially with Samaria.
Another quick troll-dorm fight. No trolling today.
Yep, none whatsoever. Picks up the compass, going to get her 4th crystal. And let's see where she goes now.
She's gonna go down to Spike Cave. I'm not really sure where she's gonna head afterwards. She can go into Swamp Palace. I'm sure she's trying to put that off as long as she can and hopes to full clear. But that may be her next play. It does have a large quantity of items.
Yeah, there are 6 items in there. That's kind of our biggest combination of them. So that'd probably be the best play. Might head to Meyer, though, right now.
It looks like it's going to be that swamp play. And Malle's going to set up his bomb jump here.
See, now it'll be interesting to see when Malle finishes Ice Palace. If he tries to dive into Swamp after that, looking for the hookshot in its vanilla location.
Trying to line up that bomb jump just right. I personally have only ever done this bomb jump once, and it was purely an accident. I completely just guessed how to do it, so I couldn't tell you the proper way to do this bomb jump.
Yeah, I've done it twice. The first time I did it, I didn't even think it was a bomb jump. I was just like, I think I might be able to do a bomb jump, but I don't know if this is even possible, but I'm going to sit here and try it. And then I was like, oh, okay, you can do this. I'm like, oh, well, probably not in logic, but at least I know I can do it. Yep, so Miri's going to make her play in the swamp. I think after this, if she doesn't find Quake, though, she's going to head to the Meyer area, because she's kind of just focusing on crystal dungeons.
Which isn't a bad thing to do, considering you've got to finish them anyway, and, you know, if you can do it, then why not?
Yeah, and that is a nice location for the big key. See, I wonder if Malle was coming in here wondering if the hook shot was early on, because once he was going through it and saw how the keys were laid out, he knew it was hook shot locked. But then continues, knowing he'll have to do that bomb jump.
Yeah, and I mean he's also looking for Quake, so while you're back there, you're looking for Quake. The hook shot's not there, but you still have no idea where that Quake medallion is. Looks like Malle is going to be setting up for this bomb jump here. Another shield in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, so nothing yet in Swamp Palace that we need. But that does mean we know where our mirror shield is.
We will definitely have at least one mirror shield, yes.
I think the only way we won't have that is if Malle finds Quake before coming in here and hookshot, because then he won't even check that chest anymore.
And now I'm wondering if it's just a matter of time before Malle does find that hook shot. Because you got to think the magic bat or the hammer pegs haven't been checked yet. So you've got 2 locations there. And then you've got at least if you do the 4 and out, you've got at least those 4 chests in Thieves Town. So it may not be too much longer before Malle goes and picks up his hook shot.
Yeah, but there is one place, and I don't know if he did it or not. I know he didn't. I don't believe he dived into Eastern whatsoever. I don't think he dived into Pod either.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pod might be on his brain right now.
Yeah, because he could do a Pod and Eastern check and route them in together, and that's 8 items sitting there together. It is 2 dungeons, but still more items in one spot.
Which would be huge since now he can full clear Pod if that Quake medallion is sitting on Sarashula right now.
Yeah, and since he's right there, he'll just be able to mirror to check it as well. I think one location that I don't think either runners have checked that have been around for a little bit too. I don't know how many of the mirror locations have been checked. I don't believe they've checked Graveyard Ledge. I think one of them checked K45 though.
K45, we've seen K45. We haven't seen Graveyard Ledge yet. I can't remember which runner checked K45. I want to say it was Malle who checked it, but I do remember seeing it.
I'm pretty sure it was Malle because I think he had his mirror before doing that route. So I think he routed it in with the purple chest, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so Malle looks like he's probably making the play on Village of Outcasts.
Now, we know he wants to check that bat, and we know he wants to check those hammer pegs, but is he going to go down, drop down into Thieves?
I mean, I don't expect you would, because it's like leaving 4 items on the table when you're here anyways. I know it's a dungeon, it does take time, but you're running out of overworld locations and nice places to check now.
I can confirm it is a dungeon. Nothing in the hammer pegs. Gonna check that magic bat, and then please, Malle, head over to Thieves Town.
Yeah, and I think the worst thing, chat just brought this up, the worst thing for him to find right now is Quake.
Mm-hmm. Quake's gonna take him straight to Turtle Rock.
Just 300 though.
Just 300. There's not much he can do with 300. He can buy a few potions, but that's it. Looks like he's gonna do it.
We'll see. He might just go to Graveyard Ledge. He might just skip Thieves Town again, but...
Please don't, Malle.
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
He's skipping.
Oh.
That hurts to see.
Well, at least we finally get to see that Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah, again, like right now, the worst thing for him to find is a Quake Medallion. Because more than likely he sees it, he goes to Turtle Rock assuming that the hookshot's there. Won't find it. And then is on the hunt for it.
Honestly, we're running out of locations for that Quake Medallion.
Yeah, we really are.
The back half of no. Did we check everything in pod? Did we get all of the items?
I believe Helmosaur might have one. Sahasra, it looks like Malle's making the play into Pod and Eastern. So we'll see where It looks like Myria might be going back into Thieves Town. Or is going to check Pay Cave first. And then she doesn't have the powder yet, so she can't check Batman. Yeah, this probably is one of the... I mean, we know it is. He's not aware of this. But we know that this probably is one of the worst plays because the chance of him finding Quake here is relatively high. And unless he decides I'm going to check Thieves Town after getting Quake, which, you know, would be interesting that he's skipped over it so many times, it's going to lead him to Turtle Rock, and then he's going to have to leave and come back. Still looking for a hookshot.
Myria is grabbing her purple chest. And I imagine she's going to stop by K45 and also her check her Bombos tablet as well.
She actually checked Bombos and K45 on the way up. That's why she fluted, so she's just going right here.
I was... I'm sorry, I was concentrating on the decision Malle was going to make with his Thieves Town into... I really wish he'd head back over to Thieves Town, because we don't want him to find that Quake Medallion.
Yeah, and Myria is going to make the play over to Meyer. Sees Ether, notes it's available. Going into the shred, going to find Hurricane of Samaria.
And I don't doubt she's going to be heading straight into Misery Mire.
Yeah, with how she's been routing, it's just I can clear a crystal dungeon. I'm going to go into it and look for the one item I need at this point, because now she is literally one item from go mode. Probably not very happy to see the shovel. Yeah, with where they've checked though, right now it really seems like Quake has to be either in a pendant dungeon or leading from a pendant dungeon. So Sahasrara pretty much.
Well, if we do have one item on Helmosaur King, we've got one item from Sarashla, and then we have a couple of items, one or two items in Thieves Town. I feel like this is going to come down to whoever, whichever of these runners goes back into Thieves Town next. If it's not here and it's not on Sarashula, I feel like it's going to come down to whoever heads back that way.
Yes, I think if it's not here in Pod, because we know it's not in Eastern, if it's not there or on Sahashville, I think the only option at that point is it has to be in the back of Thieves Town. But we do know that Malle's not going to find it at least until he gets to Helmasaur King. Because Myria's already been inside Pod and checked everything with the exception of Helmasaur King.
Now I wonder if Myria would head back to Pod before finishing up Thieves Town.
I think she would do Thieves Town first. I believe it's quicker. And it probably also depends because I don't remember if we found 2 or 3 items in the first 5. I want to say we found map and Big Key, so there's still 2 items. If she found 3, I see Pod being more likely because then there's 2 items there. And also, because right now we just got Myria is kind of routing what Malle's already done and Malle doing the opposite. Feel free, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, go ahead and give these runners a follow. They've been putting on a good race for us so far. Just got these last item we really need to find before we can get going to Ganon's Tower.
So I know neither of these runners are going to find anything they're looking for unless this item on Helmasaur King is that Quake Medallion, which again would be terrible for Malle right now, because I imagine Malle would head straight up to Turtle Rock.
The only other thing I could see him doing, other than heading right to Turtle Rock, is diving Swamp without the hook shot, because he hasn't went in there. There are a lot of item locations available, and it's not like the hook shot's never been found in Swamp Palace before in Randomizer.
As a matter of fact, I saw a seed yesterday that hook shot in the last chest on the left side. It's the most clutch hook shot I've ever seen.
I believe if Helma King has a medallion or Sahasrah's holding it, it's worse for Malle right now because it could lead him to Turtle Rock, which we know nothing is going to be there for him. Anything that leads him away from Thieves Town right now is bad for him.
Especially if, say, he goes, if he has to full clear Turtle Rock looking for his hook shot, he's gonna be going out checking Mimic Cave. He's gonna check every chest on Laser Bridge, and assuming it's a medallion that Myrian can find before heading into Turtle Rock, that's a lot of extra stops she won't have to make.
Myria does have to be careful down at 2 hearts.
Oof.
Alright, took all the little eyeballs down and then 2 arrows into Vitreous's big eye takes him down. So Myria just picks up her 6th crystal. Did not look like Helmasaur had the Quake or anything important.
But he does have that green pendant, so we're going to see what Sarashula has. And Malle's going to check that before going into Eastern, which is pretty smart. I mean, we know what's in Eastern. He doesn't know what's in Eastern, but This would save a lot of time. And it is 50 rupees.
Okay.
Where is this Quake medallion?
It's got to be the back of Thieves Town then.
And he's not even going into Eastern.
Nope, he's skipping it.
He's gonna go to Swamp. So Malle's gonna check out left side of Swamp and come up empty-handed. But maybe, hopefully, after he checks left side, he will head straight over to Thieves Town and find his hookshot and presumably his Quake medallion.
That'll just be interesting. What chest is it going to be in?
If it's in Thieves Town, I'm gonna go with the maiden chest.
I'm going to just say it because of where the hammer was. It's in the big chest.
That would actually be a pretty good troll.
Yeah, so even if you could get there and clear it, except for that one chest, and it's hiding the item you need the whole time.
So I'm a big Cane of Burna fan, and I'm slightly insulted that neither runner has found the Cane of Burna yet.
Well, at this point, it's really got to be in Thieves Town, Turtle Rock, or Ganon's Tower. So you might find it still. So the little stars for the tracker, if it's a pendant, it's signifying the green pendant, which leads to an item on Sahasrahla. If it's the crystals, it's the 5 and 6 crystals, which lead to you getting the big bomb, which unlocks the Pyramid Fairy.
It looks like Miria is gonna... I don't know where.
She is going to check her shovel.
Right, she grabbed her shovel. So I imagine she's going to check this shovel spot and then probably grab that super bomb and head over to the pyramid.
Yep, probably. Helmasaur was bombs, and the green pendant ended up being 50 rupees. So at this point, we've pretty much narrowed it down to Quake's got to be in Thieves Town.
Myria not taking any time to pick up that single arrow. I don't blame her. There's our mirror shield.
Yep, we have a mirror. Alright, now we'll see afterwards, because she's not going to find what she needs in the Pyramid Fairy. We'll see if she decides to make the Thieves Town play, or if she decides to make the pod play.
Yeah, that's going to be the make or break. I think at this point, both of these runners are going to be heading back into Thieves soon. It's just a matter of, does Myria go to pod, and does Malle go straight to Thieves when he gets out of Swamp?
Well, and there's one more thing that Malle's going to need to do as well. He's going to find the hookshot before Quake. He needs to stay in Thieves Town, if it's there.
Right.
I don't believe Malle checked Eastern Palace, so it was kind of interesting to see him kind of skip out of there when he was in the area. He just is kind of seeming to be avoiding the pendant dungeons as much as possible. Hookshot Cave has nothing of value.
Malle is staying in the Dark World. Going north.
Gonna get a catfish check. She has not checked that yet.
Right. She went straight down the pod after Aghanim. Yeah.
Yep. Which, this is a good thing, because Powder could potentially lead her to going back to the village now, instead of going into pod for those last two items.
So, Malle's about to check the last accessible chest in Swamp Palace without the hook shot. So, his next move's gonna be pretty huge on the outcome of this race.
Yep, it will, because even if he finds it, he's a little behind because now he's got to come back into Swamp and clear it out. So Miria's already finished that. She only has to go to Turtle Rock at this point.
She is going back into Pod. And Malle is going to Thieves Town.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting then. He's going to make the play in here. Going to find the hook shot. The question is, does he stay?
Well, not only does he have to stay and finish out Thieves Town, he's still going to have to go back into Swamp and finish out Swamp. Whereas Myriachan is going to go straight into Helmasaur, finish up Helmasaur, and cash in her green pendant. Then she's presumably going to head back over to Thieves Town. So, a couple of big things right now. Is Malle going to stay in? And then is Myriachan going to get back over there, grab her medallion before Malle finishes up his Swamp Palace?
Yeah, that'll be the most interesting thing, because the hookshot does open up, opens Swamp up, opens up Hookshot Cave. He might gamble that Quake is on Hookshot Cave at that point.
Oh, okay.
He's at least going to check this chest. He needs to stay in here after this, though.
He hesitated for a second. It scared me.
Oh,
He's staying. Okay. I'm curious as to if he hesitated in aggravation of putting that off for so long, or if he hesitated thinking he might want to get out of there.
We'll have to ask.
So we've got 3 more chests, and we have blind. So where is that medallion going to be?
I'm not sure if it gives him the advantage. I think it catches him up. He still has to go back to Swamp is the main thing. So he's going to, even though technically it's go mode, he's already went in there and done the left side.
And for Myriachan, when she finishes up here and she cashes in her pendant, since she's already done Eastern, she really only has Thieves Town to go to. So it's likely she's going to head straight over there after cashing in this pendant.
Yeah, and she's also already checked the first 4 chests, so she can just make a beeline right for the big doors too. So that'll be a little quicker than on Malle's side too. Pedestal is not in play. It is a sword upgrade. All right, well, here's your guess on Quake.
Red Rupee.
You got big 20'd.
I got big 20. So at least we have that small key to get into this big chest room.
Yep, and let's see if it's my guess.
It better not be. It is!
Oh, there it is.
We typically have a saying at this point in the run, and I believe that saying is that we are in go mode.
All right, we are indeed. Malle enters go mode first.
Good news for Myriachan. She's heading straight back down to Thieves.
Yeah, hopefully she goes to Thieves before checking Batman, because that'll lose her a little bit of time. It's not huge, but Looks like she's gonna check Batman first.
Yeah, it looks like a well.
Nope.
She
Wait, was she
graveyard ledge.
I thought she checked that already. No, that was Malle that did it, wasn't it?
Malle, yeah, Malle checked graveyard.
Yeah, so I'm going to say this now. Well, Malle's going back into Swamp. Miri is kind of checking the last of the overworld before heading back into Thieves Town to get the Quake medallion. If you need a refresh on your drinks, any snacks, something like that, now would be a really good time to do it, because once we get out of these Swamp, Miri gets her Quake medallion, you're probably going to want to be sitting down for the rest of the race.
And while we're at it, give these runners a follow. And also, remember, you can follow Speed Gaming channels 1 through 6 and Link to the Past Randomizer channels 1 through 4 and get all of your Randomizer tournament content.
Yes, and thank you, Das Quacken, for the 250 bits.
You know, with those 250 bits, we're going to be able to play a fun little game later on, so...
Alright, gonna check the Batman.
Now, fortunately for Malle, back half of Swamp Palace is pretty fast.
Yeah, he will definitely be done with Argus before Myria gets her Quake medallion, so he'll probably be in Turtle Rock ahead, because he's not going to go back. He's not going to check Hookshot Cave. He knows Butter's not there, and that's really the only thing you're looking for at this point. Maybe Red Mail, but you're not going to go into Hookshot Cave looking for that.
And here's Myriac going back into Thieves. She's going to find her Quake and get out of there and head up to T-Rock. And unfortunately for Myria, this isn't even a chest that she would have been able to check her first time here. So,
yeah, with missing hammer.
Yeah, even her staying in earlier wouldn't have done her any good until she had that hammer.
She will not check for the pedestal. She knows she only needs Quake at this point. The moment she sees that, she's out of here.
Looks like she got the the perfect pixel for the Hellway.
Yeah, she got the God Pixel. Malle takes down Argus for his 6th crystal.
So Malle's going to be heading up to Turtle Rock. Myria's going to be right behind him as soon as she finds that that medallion. We've got a close race here. Like I said earlier, I love blue potions.
Yeah, don't blame him for getting them. Just cost him a little bit of time for Myria to, catch up the little bit of a gap there is, because I doubt she'll grab them, because I think she's got 2 of them still.
I'm not sure how many she's used. I know she didn't use one. I was curious because she didn't use one the Vitreous fight earlier when she was down to 1.5 heart. So, but she may not be making that pit stop there to grab those potions.
All right, and Myria picks up her Quake medallion and is officially in go mode. The thing is, Liam, even if Miria decided to full clear Thieves the first time she was in here, she did not have her hammer. So she still would have missed Quake at that point.
So Malle finally opening up his Turtle Rock access. Now it's just a matter of where is that big key?
Yeah, and you know something as well that can save a little bit of time in Turtle Rock, if they need to hit the laser bridge up for a key, you know, starting on the top, finding the key, and somebody else starts on the bottom, that'll save you some time too.
Right.
And then we've got Ganon Tower, left side, right side gambles. If you can go right side, there's still a lot ahead that can change. So
Oh, missing the torch.
yep, almost missing it the second time.
Miria officially entering her 7th crystal dungeon.
Yep, they're both in here, and Miria is only a couple rooms behind Malle right now. So, as Kithara17 kindly pointed out, there is only a 1 minute gap between the two of them currently.
I'm telling you, this one's gonna come down. Come down to Ganon's Tower execution. Unless we get a right-left side Ganon's Tower key, this one's going to come down to execution.
Yep, definitely.
Miria with that textbook lantern room. Using cape strats, I like it. I love the cape.
Yep, cape and the sprint. Refills the magic. Oh, I was gonna be like, Malle, or you can't skip that chest right now. Gotta at least go get the key from the pokey.
Oh, missed the crystal switch.
Yep, and getting trolled by the chain chomps.
You know, that's what chain chomps do best. But she needs to watch her health right now.
Alright, makes it through.
Good thing about powder, you get free fairies pretty much whenever you want in these last few dungeons.
Yeah, especially Turtle Rock, there's anti-fairies everywhere.
Oh, got trolled by the fireball in the pokey room. Looks like Malle going out of the back door.
Mary is skipping that chest. I believe they already have the big key, so I don't think that's a big deal.
They do not have the big key. But I think we know that's not the big key because Malle didn't grab it there. Or do we have the big key? Oh, I guess we do.
We would have to, because that was the last
Yeah,
chest that can be big key.
That's right. Okay.
Mary having a little bit of trouble with his last pokey room.
You know, no one likes pokies.
Malle chugging a potion to get his health and his magic back.
Well, Myria skipped out. Apparently, that was the big key, the vanilla big key chest. So Myria's going to have to go back to grab her big key.
Oh, yeah, she did.
And she's just realizing what she's... There's our small key. We are going to be heading to Trinex. Chat did bring up a good point. Myria could have mirrored back to that entrance that she opened up.
Yes.
But I imagine at a time like this, you're thinking about finishing, not that might be one of those things that slips your mind. Very clean.
Yep, much better Poke Room that time.
And Malle making quick work of Trinex.
Okay, so with that, Malle's going to pick up his 7th crystal, so it's time to head to Ganon's Tower. So... would you like to do the honors, JC?
There are 22 chest locations. Excuse me, item locations in Ganon's Tower. Which one of those locations are going to have this big key? Pick a number 1 to 22, and if you are correct, then you'll have your name right on the top of a fancy leaderboard.
To be entered for the leaderboard, though, you do either have to be subscribed to any of the Speed Gaming channels or has given 250 bits to any of the channels.
Thank you.
And please get your guesses in quickly because this will not stay open for very long. As soon as Malle enters the tower, we do have to close this down.
That's 2 chests, no big key yet.
Nope.
Meanwhile, Myria going to head into her Trinex fight, and then she's going to be heading over to Ganon's Tower as well.
Alright, so 3 is just 3 bombs. Not going to grab those, so Bob is going to live this time.
I like Bob.
So that would be location 5.
If you guessed chest number 5, you are our winner today. I did not guess chest number 5, and I never win, so it is what it is.
Right, but Myria does pick up her 7th crystal, so it won't be too far behind Malle.
Malle having a little bit of a tough time with Mimics 1 here. It's tough for him. These Mimics rooms are really tough, especially with these statues constantly shooting lasers at you. Nice hook dash by Myria out of the T-Rock exit. It's the little things about this game that make me happy. Using some iframes here, Malle. Get across that bridge. Don't have to worry about those pesky cannonballs. And we are in the gauntlet.
Yep, so we've got about a 2-minute and 20-second gap right now, entering Ganon's tower. We know we're not going to get any change because of the big key's location, so it's all going to be execution in the gauntlet and the boss fights.
That's right, one big factor. Maybe that Troll Dorm 2 fight.
Yeah, could get a Troll Dorm fall. That is definitely an option.
Having a little bit of a tough time with Lambo 2, but cleaning it up, getting out of here, ready to take care of some whiz ropes. Clean whiz ropes room.
Sprints down the bridge.
Also some clean mimics rooms from Myriachan. We get to see that mirror shield in full force, blocking off those lasers.
And Myriachan is entering her gauntlet now. And here's Troll Dorm 2.
With Tempered Sword, Troll Dorm's pretty easy to get by, but you never know. Never know if he feels like trolling you really good on any given day.
Yep, and Myriachan getting a short hop and missing one of her arrows. Gets it on the second cycle though.
Malle heading into Aghanim 2. Are we going to see Swaganim 2? Doesn't look like it.
Gets a double, it looked like.
2 doubles. Not a bad. These are pretty good patterns from Aghanim.
Yeah.
Just missed the double on that base.
Alright, so we got 2-2-1-1 on Ganon 2. And Malle's going to be heading to his Ganon fight.
Got a nice little bonk animation there. So here we are, falling down into Ganon at 1 hour 50 minutes 30 seconds. Ganon with Temper Sword and Silver Arrows is maybe a pretty standard fight, but you never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, Ganon could decide to give you a hug and you fall right off the ledge. There's plenty that can happen in this fight still. The race is not over till we see the dot done.
Malle got a really good positioning there from Ganon on that second phase.
Yeah, he did. 2 more hits will send us to phase 4. Myria takes down Trolldorm 2. Alright, we are in the final phase. 4 arrows.
And still got the torch glitch. Not extremely crucial when you have silver arrows.
Alright, 2 more arrows. Could be a double here.
Oh, got trolled by the fire bat. And trolled again.
Myria doing her Aga fight. 1 more arrow. That should be it.
Oh!
Oh no! I don't think he has a fairy either.
Wow.
No. Oh, this is going to be close.
This race just got interesting. Ladies and gentlemen. This is going to come down to the wire. Malle restarting his Ganon fight. Myria about to drop down in. This is the kind of race I like to see.
Yep, Ganon fights at the exact same time. Malle just starting phase 2, Myria just dropping in.
Not getting as generous of a pattern here, it looks like, this time around.
Nope, he will not get, and the teleports and everything are going to be different too, so Myria can catch up. Can use some cape strats. He does have to be careful. I don't believe he has another potion, and he's down to 4 hearts now, so it can only take, I believe, 1 hit.
Okay,
Myria is also, yep, they're both on phase 3.
This is insane.
Yep, Malle's entering phase 4 now. Myria is 1 hit away. Goes into it there. So we are seconds between each other.
Myria got the first silver off. Doesn't get the torch glitch. Has to refill her magic.
I think Malle needs 2 more arrows.
This is going to be so close.
Tries for a double. Has to relight the torches on Myria's.
We're both down to our final arrow. Oh!
Misses the 1 arrow. Both are down.
Wow. GG Malle.
GG Malle, GG Myria.
What a
I
close
don't know how
race.
close this is. 28. Just barely.
What an insane race.
So I don't have, because we're not in the race chat, so we can't see their official times, but from the looks of it, it was about 5 seconds on the restream.
And trust us, we are going to try to get both of these runners in for an interview.
So yeah, according to Myriachan, who posted in chat, it was a 6-second difference.
GG to both Malle and Myriachan. What an
Yes.
insane race.
Yes, please get your GGs in chat. This was probably one of the best races, especially closest races I think the tournament's seen so far, with the exception of the tie. There's going to be a tiebreaker, I think, starting at 9 o'clock.
What a great final day of week 2.
All right, so we actually have both runners in the waiting room. We're going to go ahead and pull them both up here for an interview. All right, we are joined by both Malle and Myria. GG to both of you for an amazing race.
GG, did I win or did I lose? I'm not sure. Yes, sir. TV time accurate.
Malle, looks like you won by a solid 5 or 6 seconds. Whatever the we didn't, we couldn't see the official speed racing times. But it looks like you won by 5 or 6 seconds.
Oh my god.
How do you feel after that?
Frustrated and yeah, mostly frustrated.
Myria, how do you feel?
Well, I'm just sad that I did that mistake in Turtle Rock where I forgot to get the big key. I didn't think about the fact that I didn't get it yet. That cost me the game.
Oh man, this seed is like it was. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
What did you think when you took that late death on Phase 4 Ganon?
I thought, okay, well, I'm about to cry. I'm seriously just gonna cry. I'm gonna skip the interview. I'm gonna lose. She's about to get done, and I'm gonna cry. And that's what I thought. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I didn't see my hearts. I don't know how I stepped forward too far, but I was very surprised that the race wasn't over at that point because I thought I had lost it a long time ago. And then when I actually got to Ganon and the race was still going, I was really nervous, so I played really badly.
Oh man, my heart was pounding there. I think that might have, that might have led to my mistake in Turtle Rock. And chat says that you died on Ganon.
Oh man, I had a potion too. I could have used that, but it was the final hit, and I was right there. I was like, okay. And then I walked into him. He gave me a hug. I was like, oh god, why? Why is this happening to me?
Hey, Roll Driver.
My gosh. When I saw I got matched up against you, I knew this was going to be close because generally we've done delays and, just races with the SRL community. And usually our times have been pretty close, so I thought that our skill levels would probably be about as even as you could get, but I had no idea it would be this close.
Yeah, 5 seconds. Pretty crazy. I was totally expecting in this seed that that Quake would not be at the big chest in Evestown. I thought it would be a pedestal pole, but because that was my last spot after that. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy, requiring dips into, what was it, all 3 pendant dungeons and requiring Aghanim. That was fun.
Yeah. I played greedy, honestly. I was fully expecting just to lose, for you to finish as I was finishing up Turtle Rock because I didn't dip into Pendant Thieves Town at all, and that was really, really greedy of me because I did have the hammer. I had the opportunity to go in there. I just said, okay, I have crystal dungeons I can complete, so I'm gonna go do that. If this bites me, and it bit me. It bit me really hard.
I was gonna say that was one of the questions when you found the hook shot. Chat noticed it. We noticed it that you hesitated. Was that because you were just kind of like, I'm just found the hook shot this late? I could have had this a long time ago, or were you thinking, should I leave and go to Swamp at this point?
Mixture of both. Because it was right there in the first 4 chests. If I had just dipped in, I could have gotten that way earlier, and that would have been good. And I was like, okay, well, I'm here. I don't want to get bitten by the same snake twice. I'm just going to complete this. I probably lost at this point anyway, so I might as well just see how badly I screwed up. And then there was Quake in the big chest. I was like, all right, okay, all right.
Was that your last item as well?
Quake was my last item, yeah.
Basically, we got to a point where both of you were doing separate things, but it was a matter of who was going to go back to Thieves Town and grab that Quake medallion first. Once you, Malle, grabbed that medallion and took off to finish up Swamp, Myria went back, grabbed that medallion, and both of you were making your way up to Turtle Rock at the same time. It was truly something special to see.
Oh my gosh, that. Huh.
Yeah, it's like Turtle Rock, Myria was a minute behind you entering Turtle Rock. That's the only difference entering Turtle Rock itself. And then it was like 2 minutes and 20 seconds in Ganon's Tower.
Oh my gosh. 159 out of 216, you crazy? No, there's no way. I felt like I checked everything in the game. How? No. Oh. No.
Yeah, same. I just saw mine as 171 out of 216, and yeah, I thought I got more than that. I thought it would be more like 190.
Well, I mean, the big key was on the 5th chest of Ganon's Tower, so didn't check too many there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man.
Well, regardless, that was a fantastic race from you two. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to commentate that race. So thank you for that entertainment.
Yeah, thank you guys for commentating. I appreciate all the hard work that goes into this. I'm glad this got restreamed considering how close it was. Like, I felt like I played bad in a few areas, and I'm kind of, embarrassed about that to be seen on stream. But I'm really glad people got to, clench their butt cheeks for that one.
Do either of you, do you have anything else to say before we sign off?
Just want to say GG Myria. This was a
GG.
crazy race. Yeah, and good luck in your next one.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if you haven't already, make sure to follow both of these runners. They put up a fantastic race for all of us. So make sure to give them a follow, and also remember you can follow all the speed gaming channels, and you can follow all the links to the past randomizer channels for all of your randomizer tournament content, as well as a lot of other content. Do you, Sir Linklot, do you want to see us out?
Yeah, sure. I'll just kind of repeat everything. Thank you for everybody behind the scenes for putting this tournament on, letting us do the commentary. Thank you, JC, for commentating this with me. It was a great pleasure and a great race to do so. Thank you, Carissa, for tracking for us. But then other than that, I know I saw somebody ask in chat, we do still have some matches going on tonight. We have 2 matches starting up at 9 o'clock. We have Prince Buffoon versus Fate Firex on A Link to the Past Randomizer 1. And then if you thought this one was close, there actually has been a closer race this week. We did have a tie. There is a tiebreaker. It is also starting at 9 on Speed Gaming 2 between Crimson Avex and Nakanashi. So still 2 more races before the end of the week that we are restreaming. So still a little bit more before we get to week 3 for you all to enjoy.
Right.
But I think that's going to be it for us tonight on this race. So I'm going to say my good night and one last GG to both racers. It was a great race.
GG. GG to both of you runners.
Thank you.